I should probably adjust the volume a little bit because I had it scaled
Do you need
way
to?
down.
Do you need to recall us also?
I don't think I do. PS, we're on. No, I don't need to.
That's
This is
good.
the first time in the world.
Oh, right on time.
Yeah, that's right.
Midnight Tomodachi. It's only gonna do it about 15 more times.
Because it's 15 o'clock?
Yeah, Britain time. GMT.
Hmm.
It's different over here. Different and magical.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure that tweet went out.
You did.
Also, might need to sneeze.
Bless you.
I'm not sure. I'm not yet
Okay,
sure
good.
if I need to. Okay, I think I'm okay.
The moment passed.
Oh, so we're playing Tomodachi again. If
Is
any-
this the first time you've streamed it since?
Yes.
I mean, that was only yesterday. Their apology was only yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
And the
Right.
original statement was Wednesday, I think.
yeah.
And I streamed, but I did not stream Tomodachi.
Right.
I streamed weird newspaper censorship game and elephant sculpting game.
I didn't see elephant sculpting game. I saw newspaper censorship.
You should go back and see elephant sculpting game. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
That'll be going up on YouTube this weekend, anyways. So we're back with Tomodachi. We have some complicated feelings about Tomodachi that we'll get into in a bit, but until then, I'll do my little intro spiel. We're playing Tomodachi Collection for the Nintendo DS, the 2009 game that is the previous, or the first one in the series. Tomodachi Life is the second in the series. And we're playing this to get a handle on the game, which we may or may not buy in June.
Yeah, I'm very not at
Yeah.
this point. I'm set.
I'm Janine Hawkins. I'm at Bleating Heart on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. And I was doing this for the better part of a month, and then we took a little bit of a break last week. And I kept checking in daily just to, get the clothes and stuff like that, but I didn't stream for a little while. And I got some Tomos with me, my two original Tomos.
I'm Austin Walker. You can find me at Austin_Walker on Twitter, the Calvin Tech on Twitch, and at ClockworkWorlds.com.
And you've got a headache.
I do.
I'm Jack DeKeat. You can find me at Not Quite Real on Twitch and Twitter, and at my game studio's website, thetalltreesgames.co.uk.
Just doing our donation collection here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, chat, you'll have to let me know how the sound is here. It seems like it's probably a little bit all over the place, but it's been a while since I did this, so I might...
I'm just going to disappear for 40 seconds to pour some chamomile tea into a mug. Because it's that time of the evening. And I'm in
it
Britain.
is. It is. Listen, I'm a fan. I swear by it.
Do you want me to get you some chamomile tea?
It would help my headache so much. It would be great.
Do you want the stripy cup or the cup with the queen on it?
The stripy cup, please. You know how I feel about your queen.
No one is wearing the outfits I have told them to wear.
It's been a couple days.
Sailor Moon was wearing a trench coat. I don't know if she borrowed that from art, or I don't remember giving her a
Yeah.
trench coat. Also, everyone's interiors are going to be
knows?
all messed up because I've been leveling up and giving people interiors, but not changing them back because it just takes time. Ugh. So as we go through, we'll have to fix that up. We also have a new resident that I made recently to make myself feel a little better.
Allie wants to know if she can join us. Should
Oh
we
yeah,
add her?
you can add her. And my volume seems a bit loud, and the game is maybe a bit quiet. Okay, I'll bring my volume a bit down. Hopefully that'll help. The game is a bit quiet because it's sometimes hard for me to hear Jack. But I'll
Yeah.
put it maybe at 12, and that'll be a little better. Hey. So I was just talking about how we haven't really played this game in a little bit, so some stuff has happened. We have a new resident. I'm also going to make a new resident today in honor of Eurovision, which we watched, which was amazing. So let's get right on that. Now here's the thing. I want to make Conchita Wurst, but I don't know enough about Conchita Wurst. I don't know if Conchita Wurst is trans. I don't know if Conchita Wurst is like a drag queen. I don't know, so I don't know
Conchita Wurst is a drag persona.
That's what I thought.
Tom Newworth, but Conchita Wurst refers to herself with female pronouns.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So I wouldn't. I think it's fine to make her female and homo. I think. I don't know.
I mean, the actual body doesn't matter. I could
Right.
just make a dude and then put them in an evening gown with. So I don't know. Like that's. I don't know.
Feelings. I mean,
if we make them a lady, that means that someone will eventually fall in love with Conchita Wurst. Because, I guess there's more ladies now. There are a fair number of ladies, so like anything could happen.
I mean, are you making a Tomo of Conchita as a character?
Yes,
or
I think so.
Right, then
hi, Alan.
right, so it should be a
female.
lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're not like making a Tomo of Tom whoever.
Yeah, that's
Tom
a good
Newworth.
point.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Like I have to use the makeup, right? Like,
Yeah.
because Conchita's makeup is amazing.
She's got quite an angular face.
Like angular, like triangular, or angular, like this weird, like other
No,
thing?
I think it's longer than that. Like I think it's a longer face.
Kind of like this. I don't know. We need super fabulous hair too. Is this color right, or should we go like a lighter brown?
I think the dark brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a dark brown.
It's like really amazing long wavy hair would be nice. That could work too. Or like an updo. Like a fancy updo. That doesn't look good.
I like the fancy updo.
Yeah, me too. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I need perfect eyebrows. Not so angry though. We're gonna soften those up and bump them up a little bit. Actually, maybe these ones. I don't know. Go with those. And fucking amazing, gorgeous eyes.
Are we going to be able to give her a beard in the character creator?
Yes. None
Oh,
of that
cool.
stuff is gender locked. Which is the best.
That is good.
I need to get a picture up here.
I wonder if there's a money prize.
Oh.
Good question.
There must be. There's gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else is at stake aside from bragging rights, right?
It's like a national pride thing, I think.
I'm checking to see if there's a
Anything
prize.
else?
I'd be really interested to kind of see the parties that are happening in the streets of Austria right now.
I bet you they're great.
So her brows are very angular. These might
No
be
cash
better.
prize.
Oh well. I arrived in Spain in Bilbao during a region-wide festival day, and let me tell you, the Europeans do street parties in big.
No, the brown's definitely better.
Lumberjack Bonanza says, "Oh hey, it's the game that hates my lifestyle." JK, let's
Ugh,
not.
yeah.
No, let's.
No, we're gonna. I mean, it's inevitable. We're going to. That's why I haven't streamed it until now.
I'm not even 100% sure how many. Like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm at on this.
Maybe we should. I don't know.
We can talk about that now, because all I'm doing is
Like,
making a
I don't-
character. Like,
Yeah.
Or it's like finding the name for the book. I mean, should we talk about it now, or should we wait for a...
Let's talk about it now.
No, I think it's now. I think there's no reason to not.
I'm just making this character. Nothing else is going on. And when we get into the rest of the stuff, there's a whole bunch of shit that's happening. Like, I think Jack is going to be the first one to level up and have all the items. That's probably going to happen today.
nice.
2 people are in love.
Oh.
3 maybe, I don't know. Like, there's shit's happening. There's a new character I have to introduce. There's a bunch of news stories we have to go through. So now, let's get it out of the way right now. Cause...
Nintendo have been pretty fucking shitty.
Yeah.
On kind of 2 fronts. Like, they made a direct statement in relation to the exclusion of LGBT relationships inside Tomodachi, in a way that, you know, it wasn't only misguided and harmful that they weren't included, but the specific way that they talked about it, I think, was really, really not good. Their particular implication that they made through their choice of words was that Tomodachi is meant to represent a fun and quirky, neutral kind of style.
Non-political.
Whimsical and quirky.
Not social commentary.
It's not supposed to be real life. It's supposed to be fun.
Right, it's an
needs a bit of a
alternate
pointy
world.
Yeah, it's like an alternate world of your real life, and it just, I don't know, it was just,
The grossest thing.
yeah, it was really painful, and a lot of, immediately they received a lot of like justified flack for it, from a variety of sources, and on some fronts, especially like the Me Quality campaign front, it was, I think it's safe to say, pretty disappointing for a lot of people. Like Me Quality's response to it was just kind of like, huh, okay.
I mean, well, the thing about Me Quality is they were never calling for a boycott. There was never this.
Right.
Their whole thing was like, buy this game and still play it, and maybe they won't patch this in, but make them think about it for maybe the next game, and for there to be a next game, we have to prove that this will be successful, etc. So the apology that Nintendo gave eventually was very much in line with what they wanted in the first place. Was, well, if you can't do it for this game, then do it for the next one.
Which I had a problem with from the jump with Me Quality. Like, obviously, I'm on board with Me Quality. That's that was a movement that I supported.
Just being like down on it.
Right. But that strategy for demanding, okay, let's all support this product and give Nintendo money for this product, and then next time they'll do better, for me is like representative.
That's
of,
making this huge assumption, right?
It's
The massive company is just gonna go like, well, no.
It is like devastating to me.
All these people who bought our thing anyway didn't like it. Well,
right.
It's a bit like the whole world pretend to be dead, so that the bear doesn't attack. The bear just might go, ooh, there's a person on the ground.
It's one of those things that's like very in line with a lot of how we think about ourselves as consumers now. A lot of like how we think about, especially inside
Product
of
as
gaming
service.
as a there's a lot there that's not great.
And then
go ahead, Jack.
And then they kind of just, they were like, well, we didn't say enough messy things this week. So let's come back with a response, which was kind of like, well, they're like, oh, I guess we misspoke a bit. Oh, yeah.
But without acknowledging that they had misspoken. Like, it was just...
they didn't apologize for, like, and I said this a couple times of like, a lot of people were willing to just kind of let the realities of the game go.
Yeah.
And that the statement was what pissed people off.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Up until that statement, I was pretty much at the point where I was like, oh well, I'll probably still get it. Like, it sucks, but yeah. The same thing happened with Animal Crossing last year, right? Which was like, I knew going into it that there was gonna be some fucked up shit with the skin color, but whatever, you know.
It's like, I've got friends on Twitter who've been like perfectly fairly and in a way that I understand, having seen us play Tomodachi and everything. And they were saying like, well, you know, you can just queer the game the hell up anyway, like, you know.
Yeah, but there's ways in which this is like the Christian nut response.
Yeah, my problem with
Okay.
that is that it kind of it denies, whether willfully or not, the harm that Nintendo are doing in making statements like these, and the harm that they're doing in not only making statements but making follow-ups like these. And I don't know, it's really reductive, but to me there's something pretty fucking callous about talking about sexuality and reducing sexuality like, oh man, it's too hard to design, or like, oh, we can't design it now.
Yeah.
Right. I understand the realities of that it would cost a
make
fortune.
games
Like,
for
I
a
get
living.
that.
I understand that like the tiniest stuff is just like, I don't know. Making a character smile takes months of work, you know, so to add they couldn't just change a line of code and fix it. But at the same time,
Right.
this is like grade A stuff, guys. Or this is like grade 1 stuff. Like, you just need to bear this in mind from the off. And
Right, from the jump, from the point at which you decided to bring.
and when you're making a
over.
game about real life, make a game about fucking real life, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the box says your life on it.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
for them to say, well, it's not supposed to be. Well, that's your fucking tagline, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And it makes,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Austin.
I think my connection might be fucked. I can't.
I still hear you fine.
No,
Like, you still
I hear
sound
you.
okay.
Okay. You guys sound like robots to me,
Oh.
basically. So I'm not sure. But if I sound alright, then.
What?
that's
Here's the
good.
important thing. What symbol should I put next to Conchita's nickname?
That one that looks like a sparkle.
Good call.
This one?
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Austin,
The-
do you want to talk about like boycotts and about boycotts of
Well, no,
big
I don't-
corporations? 'Cause that seems
I
like the
don't-
sort of thing.
Dude, I don't know, man. This is like, this along with some other things this week have me so down on political action in general as effective and etc. But like, I just want to talk about the game at this point. The thing that actually sticks out to me when people say, well, you can still clear the game up in interesting ways, like as we're doing right now, obviously. But there's a limit to that in which the game takes over and says, no, you're still going to marry someone from the opposite gender, whether you want to or not, which is what Christian Nutt's editorial at Gamma Sutra pointed out.
Yep.
And for me, like, there is a limit to this is a big problem with the equality thing for me, was like, don't pretend like those limits aren't super important and aren't there. Like, yes, you can do interesting things to make the game more LGBTQ friendly.
Although,
but, like, you can't.
Sorry,
Actually,
I just.
no, not LGBTQ, LTB, you know, or
No, I was just gonna say
friendly,
that
not LGBTQ.
Ashton Ray's pointed out that, and I don't know this because the game isn't out yet. It's hard to say what's the truth here, but Ashton Ray's says that in the EU version you can totally stop a marriage that you don't approve of.
Okay. No,
But
no.
in the American version, apparently you
I-
can't, or like the Japanese. It's really unclear like what versions people are playing and what's going on there. So
Sure. And what event causes what? Like,
yeah,
who
it's,
knows how
it's
this game?
so,
This game could have two different marriage
it's so
dates,
random
for all we know.
and weird, and in one
And I
sense you
mean-
are in control, and in the other sense there's basically no agency whatsoever. So it's really weird. It's hard to.
And
it sounds like-
bisexuality is entirely erased,
Yeah,
right?
It sounds
exactly.
like it sounds like pipe dreamy stuff, but it really shouldn't be, and it just comes back down to this: make this in your goddamn design document. You know,
And-
write it
and
in
then
the
the
first
second
12
step-
fucking bullet points. You know,
Right. And that's a failure on the Japanese on Nintendo Japan, and a lot of people will have this, you know, position that's really grounded in racism. That like, oh, Japan doesn't know any better. Cut them some slack. It's like the grossest shit. But the second thing is the Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe had to decide, okay, we're going to bring this over. We're going to localize this. And at some point early on in that, they should have stopped and said, well, this is a huge thing. Can we account for this? And if not, like, should we still bring this over? Is this product still worth bringing over if it's going to alienate a huge group of our fans? And it's not like they bring over every... Go ahead.
the localization team couldn't really. It's like the localization
Who
team
knows?
aren't the design team. They couldn't
Right,
have.
exactly. We know we know some of the stuff that they've changed over. I think yellow's the right color, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's
too.
what I'm feeling.
yellow or orange, but I don't think orange will.
I'm stuck on blood type. I don't know what blood type to pick.
I think, yeah. So I don't know. I get that there's a limit to what the localization team can do. They've obviously done a lot with the inclusion of new events and stuff, or changing events into new events, the inclusion of local celebrities, etc. But I don't know how deep that coding goes. My real hope is that in a month or two, once more people have access to the actual game, someone will break this open and be able to say exactly how hard it would be to change. That would be nice to know. I want to know that specifically. I want to know how expensive and how costly it would be.
Do modders have that level of access to the 3DS?
You could. I promise you'll be able to bust this thing open.
Yeah, you can get a 3D ROM on the computer, no problem. Like,
oh, seriously?
I mean, the emulation stuff isn't quite there right now, but
right.
Yeah, you can
But
totally.
in terms of internal
There
access,
are totally things where you can get blank carts and just, you know, put whatever you want on them, and there's a thing with exchanging that stuff. It's because it's an active platform, as these things usually are. It's kind of more trouble than it's worth. Also,
Yeah,
it's
totally.
stealing, but you know,
So like the second
I mean,
level
it's
thing.
just stealing from bigots. So.
well, yeah.
The second level thing here that's frustrating is Dylan in the chat notes the 3DS is fully hacked. Yeah, is like this is one of many things in the last few months that's made me think a lot about like what our responsibilities are as streamers and like what I feel comfortable personally doing. And it's doubly so with Nintendo's policies on monetization of YouTube videos, right?
Yep.
Like
They don't monetize all of the videos in the series, but they monetize
the ones that
the
their systems
majority.
catch, right? Like
Yeah.
the ones that aren't monetized aren't. It's not like they're being nice. Like they just for whatever reason it slipped through the search, you know. And I think given a long enough timeline, maybe those will also be added. Who knows how that works? And I don't know. Like this, I thought the same thing about Mobius. I don't know. There's I think we're reaching a point for me where there will be times that I'm going to step back from streaming when things like this happen, because I don't want to directly contribute to the coffers, not only of Twitch, not only to YouTube, but also to places like Nintendo. I'm not saying it's like a blanket statement. Like I'm not saying I'm never going to stream a Nintendo game again, but like, and this goes back to this like. I don't know that I'm talking about voting with my wallet. I think that that's a really flawed way of thinking about political action. But
Easy sentence as well.
it is. It's the grossest. But like it can just straight up come down to the stuff that I was tweeting about, which is I have limited money, I have limited time. I could be spending that time and money doing different things, and I have a platform now, right? Like 50 people just watched us watch Eurovision while I drove a fucking virtual truck around for 2 hours. Like, I'm glad I spent that time doing that and not streaming a game by that studio that makes Galciv, the strategy game, with the head dude there is a complete Stardock. The head dude there is a complete prick, and has probably performed some sexual harassment. Like I'm glad that that's how I've decided to use that platform. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet how I feel about being on future Tomo streams or anything like that. What's up, Keith?
I mean, I think it just goes without saying, just from a like, hey, Nintendo, you were really harmful in a thoughtless, callous way towards people who play your games. That's not. And in streaming this and enjoying streams with this.
Again, this is the same thing that happened with
your ideas there.
With Mobius, which was that game really made me think hard about why it was that we streamed certain types of games, and whether or not I got pleasure out of getting to show off what a good, smart liberal I was on those streams, or if I was actually engaging critically. Like I think a highlight is like the Dragon's Crown stream, where we streamed for a couple of hours. We engaged with it. We had good debate with people in the chat, and it was open-ended, and then we closed it. And we said, okay, well that's it. We're going to be done with this now. We have our position here. We talked about it. Whereas with Mobius, we pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and it got worse and worse, and then worse than we ever thought it could get. And then I and then I bailed, right? Like I couldn't even be in the chat for the rest of that. If I was on that call, I wouldn't have come back after the Tomodachi break on that game. Like I wouldn't have. I don't know. It's a weird thing to recognize subtext of performing the act of streaming sometimes. Again, like there is no non-political statement, right?
Yeah.
There is no just, this is just.
Hey, what the hell does
fun.
room wear mean?
It's just like you're hanging out and it's like pajamas and a shitty long
It's jail
t-shirt.
pants and a dirty shirt.
Yeah, listen, don't judge me.
All the shit in the store today is terrible, but there has been some good stuff that I have not given away, so we'll be able to go through that.
Like, we're in a real position of ownership in streaming these things, and in kind of contextualizing the things we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, when it comes to streaming things that are problematic.
Mm-hmm. Wait,
You know,
this
they
is
always
why
say-
am I?
They always say that it's okay to engage in problematic media provided you're critical of the thing that you're engaging with. But I think that maybe that mantra is doubly
Well,
like
it is
important for us to bear in mind.
Yeah, because there's two different things happening there, right? There's it reminds me of people who say like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to PAX, but only because my voice will help make that place make
Yes.
it better for." And there are people who do that, and like, yeah, high five, like, go for it. And there are also people who go and then like post on Twitter all of the pictures of them being just like drunk at shitty concerts, and like that's fine. Like if you want to go do that, then like don't come to me for approval. Just go do that, you know. But don't come to me and say, "Oh, don't, Austin, you should like me still. Like you should still be my bro." Because I'm going to save the day. I'm fucking Superman right now. Like, don't tell me you're going to be Superman and then not be. And then, like, I'm trying to hold myself to that same standard, right? As someone who talks the shit a lot, and then, you know, theoretically contributes to a marketing effort by streaming a game like this, right? Like, that contributes to just general building the body of work supporting one of these bigger things. And then also, again, engages on platforms like Twitch and YouTube that I think are problematic anyway, because I'm Austin and a crazy Marxist, right? So I don't know. The big revelation of this week has been like, I'm never going to live in a world that I'm happy in, no matter how hard we all try, right? So like,
Austin,
it's
look, here's some
rough,
chamomile.
man.
Here's some chamomile.
Do you want to go through the outfits? The cute outfits.
That's all.
There's some cute ones. Well, we have Conchita set up in a really nice hotel room
Is that the suite?
with a cute dress. Yeah.
That's a really nice. That's a really good suite.
That's probably where she's staying in the Kingdom right now.
Yeah.
Eating some sukiyaki.
Oops. Oh, sorry. So, let's get Conchita fed here, and then we're gonna take a look at our other,
Tomos.
well, a song. And we'll just do a little top up here with a biscuit. Boom. Why is it so quiet? Okay.
Dylan says, or just don't consume the media, question mark. I think that, again, is like the point that I was trying to make on my Twitter, which is when big event games like this come out and everyone is super excited, we often position ourselves in this like false dilemma of like, well, either I get to not have any fun or I have to be part of this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, like that was a big part of me buying Animal Crossing last year, despite everything else. Like everybody I knew was going to play that game. I wanted to be part of that. That was really fun. And like, or I could have spent that $40 or $50 anywhere else, doing anything else, and probably still had an alright time. Like, I would have been grumpy that I didn't get to be part of the
Yoga
Animal
class.
Crossing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, there are. Yeah, this is. Yeah, you could take a yoga class. You could buy a new book. You could go on a, like Janine said to me the other day, go on a train ride. Right? Like there are $40 to $50 will buy
Yoga
you a
class
lot
on
of
a
different
train
things.
ride.
Right.
Jordan, this is not Hitler.
No, you kind of made Hitler in the Kacha suit.
Not Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to look like a Tom Selleck type handsome man.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't
Well.
come. It's not.
Hitler does not have a broad mustache.
It doesn't look broad on his face. Is the problem? It doesn't.
Well, I can make it bigger.
Maybe.
This is Nintendo-san. Nintendo-senpai. That's his tummy.
This is Nintendo Senpai.
Yes. And he's in a little
Wow,
office.
What are his views on the issues that we've been through?
He's got a nice office. He doesn't want to make any social commentary. That's all. Okay, let's make Nintendo-san's mustache bigger. I don't want people thinking he's Hitler. That's not what I was going for at all. That's the kind of commentary I was not aiming for. Okay, mustache. Heck a mustache.
But you also don't want to make him like a likable guy, right?
I just want to make him technically, here's
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't
Ninten-
get this part.
I'm not sure where you're
He's
going.
not supposed to
with
be
this.
evil.
Maybe
He's
he's,
just supposed to be like a dude. Oh, the catch with
Maybe he's the
Nintendo.
spirit of Nintendo.
Nintendo
As this,
Senpai
genuinely
is-
open-hearted, kind,
Sure.
playful.
I don't
I
see it.
don't, I don't know if I want to hang
Can I
out
move
with the
out?
spirit of Nintendo right
It's
now.
not the spirit of Nintendo. He just. Yeah, that's
Well, now
not.
I really don't.
Oh boy.
Just hide that behind.
All I'm saying is we now have Malachi, Rector, and Nintendo in our house.
That's rough. I don't feel great about that.
Is there any way we can, like, invite them to leave? Defenestrate them?
Oh, can we? Is there a defenestration minigame in this?
Oh my god.
Or I don't,
Oh, that was the other thing about Captain America. The Captain America movie, big movie for elevators. Elevators have a starring role in that movie.
Yeah. The elevators are definitely a character.
Yep. Like, I'm not kidding, I would say 10% of that movie, the whole movie, takes place in elevators.
Mhm.
And that's a lot. Did you enjoy it, Ali?
I liked it a lot, but I'm a huge Captain America fan for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So,
I thought Black Widow was pretty underwhelming.
yeah. I appreciated that it was like mostly a movie about S.H.I.E.L.D. And she had such a big role in it, like she did in the Avengers, but it's weird that they would make her such a focal part in all of the movies that she's in, but not just give her a
Yeah,
movie.
totally.
If there's
I-
so much to do with
I
her.
really want to see her.
Yeah.
Two things, and then I'll stop talking about Captain America for 15 years. One, and I mean, I'm not gonna say what it is because of spoilers, but Ali and people in the chat, the post-credit scene in Captain America, I think, is a really cool, influential one. It's really
The
exciting.
first one or the second one?
The first one,
Yeah,
more specifically, the last 10 seconds of the first one.
yeah.
And the second thing is, my favorite thing, like the most telling thing about the villain of this Captain America movie, is that the first thing he does in it is catch Captain America's shield when it's thrown at him. He just plucks it out of the air like it's nothing. It's just like, oh, mine now. Oh, there we go. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Tomodachi, go. LGBTQ people.
Can we just
I don't know
make
how to even.
Captain America instead? I guess I'm already dating someone, so that's about it.
You are. You're dating Sailor fucking
I
Jupiter.
know. And I'm so mad that this news broke right after that happened.
Oh, damn.
So I was like, oh, I hate this
Yeah.
game now. I don't hate this game now,
Is
but...
your relationship going through dire straits then as a result of this, or are you close to that?
Well, no, I mean, I am upset about not being able to be in a gay relationship in Tomodachi, except that I am. So, I have that unique position
Right,
to
but
be
you,
like,
but you are only because we've made Sailor Jupiter male.
yeah.
Right? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
to the other.
Right.
Well, here we
I thought I
go.
was already. Why am I in love? Oh, fucking.
know.
Can you move
Yeah,
me
you're-
out? I'm best friends with Malachi. I'm done.
Okay. Well, you're gonna get married to Sailor Moon.
No, I'm not.
You have a happy life together.
No, not with Malachi there. No. I'm
Why
not.
is Sailor Moon in that trench coat?
Why did
Please
you
take
do
this as
that?
memento. I don't think I did.
Oh.
Also, yeah. Here's.
I don't
here's
know.
This game where you can't say no clearly either.
No.
Yeah. I guess you could just stop the relationship from happening straight out.
Okay,
Yeah.
Does anybody object to the marriage? And then Austin needs to burst in from the back.
Yeah, I already did, clearly.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I'm still gonna buy Tomodachi Life. Like, at this point, I know I am. Like,
Everybody else do. Like,
I
it's
know,
not
I'm not,
actively
but
in the
just,
rare there, so.
it's one of those things where I feel super shitty about that, but I still really, really, really want to play it. And like, I don't know. I know I'm not the only one. There were some, there were some tweets to that effect, and
Yeah, I mean, I still might. A lot of this my
like I said,
excitement for this game is gone, but
I think it's gonna do gangbusters. I really do. Even among especially just as among the people who are critical of it, because they were critical because they think there's something really cute and cool here.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the majority of people who were upset at this game weren't people who they were the people who were excited about this game. Like that's
And the other
why
side of it
it's
is, like, if you want to offer informed critique, you need to engage with the work.
No, I don't think that that's always true. I
Well,
don't think that that's.
I
just
mean, I
don't.
think in this case it is, because I mean, if you look at a lot of the stuff that was coming out about people saying, well, I don't think it's like, I think they could totally
Right, but
patch it and
I've
stuff.
talked
And
about the sort of work. We know the sort of work that's going to have to get done to do that, and that's not the sort of work that you or Allie can do.
no,
Which
but
is to dig up into code to see exactly how tough it would be, because a cursory glance at what the systems are, like, we know that it's going to be that it's tough, right? Like, no one on this side, except for people who I think are being disingenuous, think that it's just a flip of the switch. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Changing
I don't know how
variables,
playing.
right?
I mean,
Right, I don't think that. I think it'd
a
be
lot
more
of
tied-
people who aren't being disingenuous think it's that easy.
Well, they're wrong. So
I
like, I'm
agree.
saying, we know.
But like, that's the kind of thing we know because we watched hours of the previous game.
Mhm.
But if you have no fucking idea and you think it's just like The Sims
Right,
or
but at this
whatever,
point,
then
Playing another 20 hours of this isn't going to make me be able to make
Yeah.
a more critical, analysis of this product. Like, especially paying $40 for it. Like, I don't know. I feel too gross about it at this.
that's
Okay.
fair.
Again, especially after last year, where Animal Crossing was so rough for me too. It's frustrating to have that 2 summers in a row.
I don't think, and again, yeah, I don't think it's like, I don't think not wanting to buy it is a bad position to have. Like, I think that's perfectly reasonable, and that's, it's if you don't have good feelings about a thing, you're not gonna enjoy it anyways. Like, if you feel the way, you feel the way you feel, and I don't know. Things like this aren't easy. There's no, like, real easy answer when it's a thing that, I don't know. What the hell is that? Oh, it's an asset. Okay. I've never seen that one before. Let's change Austin's apartment.
It's not really about boycotting, right? Because like a boycott is not choosing not to buy something. A boycott is a specifically politically motivated and organized action that's en masse, right? Like a boycott needs to be effective. A boycott needs to happen at a large scale, which is why it's not going to work on a product like this, right? Like I don't think that you could mobilize the sort of activity you would need to have an effective boycott against Nintendo at this point.
Oh,
There's a
no.
difference between that and then abstaining. Yeah, yes. This is great. Go for it.
Why Kyle? I mean, okay, but
Sailor
I thought she was in love with
Sailor
Kate.
Mars?
This is Nina.
I think
yeah,
that they're
this
better.
is Venus.
friends.
Sailor Mars, their best friend.
This is.
Confess in the. I haven't seen the classroom. Just do it in the classroom. I know it's gross, but I just want to see it.
Jordan, we know. We know how difficult it could or could not be. But again, for me, playing this
How
game
much
more isn't going to let me have access to that knowledge.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
At this point, all of us know or have spoken to people who understand how coding works.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dylan. I did not pick the rooftop. This is a nice looking classroom.
It's just a nice little classroom.
I like those little cubbies.
I've always been watching you from this seat. Please go out with me. Ugh, okay.
Great.
Super creepy. I guess that's also. I'm really glad we didn't pick school for one of the situations where it was like art or something and Sailor Mercury, because that would be extra creepy. But fine. It went well.
Oh, she's so happy.
She's so happy.
Is she doing like an Austin dance move for it?
Mhm.
Oh, no, yeah.
For a second there, yeah.
Oh no, she's going for it. Yes. She's off. We should just do Eurovision. Us.
If
Sailor,
only.
damn it, Sailor
Oh,
Moon's
man.
got.
She didn't need the song.
Sailor
so.
Moon is the first. I already gave her a song. We just haven't done the lyrics. Sailor Moon is the first character that I found both her favorite food and her least favorite food. So her least
Oh.
favorite food, if you recall, was steak, which was weird, and her favorite food turned out to be gummies. Gummy
What, like
candy.
gummy bears?
Okay.
Yep.
That works.
Hey, girl.
Gummies are okay. I keep seeing Janine Hawkins at the bottom of the Skype screen sharing window.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
that's the person we're looking. That's whose person. That's the room we're looking. Who's the Tomo in the front?
That's Sailor Pluto.
So many of these new people have been out.
Maybe we should do a little walkthrough here,
Mhm.
even though a lot of people are away at work. I am at work apparently, and then there's
Hey,
Austin,
Sailor Pluto.
uh,
Hey, Austin.
and then there's Jack, and he's hanging out with Jordan in there. Oh, Jack, I have to change Jack's room because I've been giving him rooms. I'm gonna go back to. We gave you a music studio, which is really nice.
Oh, look at that.
Keith,
It's got
the-
the cello.
Ooh,
The
glad I
difference-
like the barn more.
Yeah, the music room is really nice. Keith, the difference there is about what sort of assets they're changing in the localization process. Net Over America has changed for the release things like, a singing contest into a rap contest. It's changed Japanese celebrities into North American ones. But there's something much different between that and shifting a global variable that a
Yeah.
lot of things. So here's the thing, like, a lot of things rely on the core gender variable, and so we don't know how tied up that is in things beyond just the sexual preference, right? Like, there's the favorite boys and favorite girls or whatever thing, right? Like, does that whole thing fall apart if you open
Yeah.
up? I'm not saying it should. I'm saying that might
And
be the
it
way
feels
it's
to me like
programmed
the game
which
has
is busted.
It feels to me like the game just has this really sort of fundamental reliance on pretty strict notions and ideas of gender.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
And the other side of it, and a lot of people have been saying, "Well, just make every character bisexual," but that's not good.
That's not right either.
Again, Ashton Ray's on Twitter did a series of good tweets about why that's not a good solution. And yeah, the localization team, the majority of what they seem to have access to are just assets. Like, if you're replacing one model with another model, that doesn't really cause any problems.
Right.
But yeah, this is
Right.
Phil. He's in a dungeon, by the way.
Yeah. He's not
Playing
in
Wii in a
his,
dungeon.
playing Dark
not in
Souls
his
there.
dinosaur suit anymore.
Andrew in his little apartment. Got a nice new shirt. Kyle and Art are hanging out. Creepily.
That's pretty creepy.
Keith lives in a cabin. He keeps putting that outfit on even though I keep telling him to change it. He just keeps putting it on. Then we have Allie. She shouldn't be wearing that. I need to change her room.
Oh, I have a new room.
No, it's I just because I've been
Oh.
trying to get everyone to have all the things, it just kind of yeah. There we go. That's better. Oh, Nick's having a dream. We'll pop in here. Check out Nick's dream. Dream about Power
Wasn't
Rangers.
wasn't get everyone to have all the things the name of a module you do for your MA? It's just a really, really difficult one.
That's a good dream. Nick's best friends with Art.
I'm friends with Not a Cat.
That's true.
Surprises me.
Oh,
And Not a Cat is dating Andrew.
I'm not a particularly
So?
huge cat person.
Drawing over here. Oh, Phil's got a problem. We'll sort out this. Phil's favorite food is steak. I think Janine is such a wonderful friend. Yeah, we're good friends. How does Phil not have a friend yet? That's so sad. Fob Wash is working, Arts in Kyle's room, Sailor Moon is working, and then we got Sailor Mercury, who is Art's wife. Art's wife, Sailor Mercury. Sailor Jupiter. That's Allie's boo.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Not a Cat, who's working on her laptop.
First name, definitely.
Technically that's her last name, but it's Japanese format, so...
Oh, right.
And then we have definitely an alien, sorry. Definitely Not a Cat's cousin. Hannibal here wants to play a game. Mr. Hannibal Lecter of TV's Hannibal, the titular Hannibal. His favorite foods are orange juice, Hamburg steak, and sea bream, because 2 of those things are things that you can replace with human meat. If you're clever.
Orange juice and sea bream, right?
Oh. I have to point a way that he'll look. Look down!
So it's just a guess, right?
There we go. Yeah. My strategy is always to just do the same one over and over again, and eventually you'll probably get it. If you keep moving around, you reduce your chances. I don't know if that's really true, but...
It's gonna be a head in a box.
Oh, I got a Ness!
Man, we got Super Famicom.
Boom!
Pretty rad.
Thanks, Hannibal. And then we have Patrick Jane from TV's The Mentalist.
With the therefore symbol by his
Yeah.
name. I don't know why.
It's a thing in the
makes a lot
show.
of-
It's a thing
yeah.
in the show. And then we have Sailor Pluto in a school nurse's office, because that's a thing she does at one point. She's not really qualified, but I guess...
Or,
yeah.
let's be honest, just a nurse's office.
Yeah. And then we have Sailor Venus. She's a cutie.
Just hanging out there.
Just hanging out. And then we have Sailor Mars in her room.
Oh, she's perfect.
And we have Kyari Pamu Pamu, Japanese pop star, on the set of one of her
Oh,
videos.
Fave.
That
It's-
is
Pretty
Man.
accurate.
the little I know about Kiri Pamu Pamu. It surprises me that she's sleeping right now.
And then Malachi is depressed, and I've been leaving him that way.
That's appropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good work, man.
He's in the
Does he-
ethnic room. Because he would be.
How you doing, you little prick?
Malachi, of course, Malachi Rector from Mobius, for anyone who doesn't know. And then we have Definitely Not All Men, who is definitely an alien and definitely not a cat's cousin. With his tweed
Definitely not-
jacket.
Definitely not a cat's friendly though, right? Definitely not a cat's
Yes.
a goodie.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Definitely families.
No,
all
I
bad.
mean,
Like a family.
no
they
one's
have good and
family is
bad.
just all evil
Right.
people.
Right.
Like,
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
everyone's got that one
The
cousin.
Windsors.
Yeah, great. And then we have Nintendo-san in the office.
He looks more like Tom Selleck now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like Daniel Day-Lewis as well.
Yeah, he does.
And then we have Conchita Wurst.
Hey, Conchita.
Now we should check out the news.
It's an amazing Hollywood buddy movie waiting to happen.
Let's see what the new news story is. We've got Jack on the
hi.
on the news desk.
Good evening. This is 7 o'clock news.
Oversized
It's
cherry.
the harvest time for cherry on Mount Tamarind. It is where people are cultivating oversized cherry. Starting this month, this location is open to public to pick up cherry. A resident from Tamarind City, Pamu Pamu, told us, "This place is extraordinary." Let's ask the residents for their opinions.
Jeez. Burn.
7
let's
o'clock
see,
news
we've
to keep
got,
reporting.
This is the news story from earlier today, I think, and I didn't understand it at the time. I don't think I will if I watch it
Why
again.
could you lock them?
To save them.
Oh, okay.
50 years ago. Oh, time capsule. Time capsule. That's just a doorknob, though. That person's just holding a doorknob.
That's what they pulled out of the time capsule.
It's a shitty time capsule.
Oh, that was a 50-year-old doorknob.
Here's
Maybe the famous
someone's
star.
garbage bag.
Oh, maybe.
Here comes the opinions.
Yeah, thank you. It is boring. It's boring news. Totally boring. Let's see, was there any other recent news that was good? The rich list is boring. We saw Hannibal Fell. Okay. This one is weird. It is a Japanese thing you may or may not know about. It is a Teru Teru Bozu, which is like a weather charm indicator thing. It looks like a little ghost.
Oh wow! Is it actually representative of a ghost, or does it just look? A bit
I don't know. It looks like a ghost. That's all I know.
It is a historic moment.
No,
Little
Alex,
Keith
it's not a
Taylor
historic
Bozu.
moment. It's the historic.
And then we'll check the conflicts here. 7 o'clock me news. Conflicts. Malachi and not all men. Oh right, that's why I saved this one. And also Keith. These two people had conflicts over who would take a bath first.
Gross. They decided they should just take baths together.
I can
Yeah.
understand this feeling, says the other one.
This will be a good story for me to talk about tomorrow, says Andrew. Jordan in the chat linked the Wikipedia page for the Teru Teru Bozu, if you are curious.
I was curious about what the Japanese translation of Spirited Away, just the title, was, like what the literal translation was earlier today, and I looked it up. And it's essentially exactly the same idiom. But with a more specific reference to spirits than... I don't know, when we say Spirited Away, we sort of mean like goblins or something.
Yeah.
Dylan in the chat says, not all men take baths, okay? And Lumberjack Mananta says, getting real right now, my family does not accept homosexuality, despite that we've got gay people in our family. I'm still in the closet because my parents have rejected me. Video games allow me to escape from that, and it's super shitty that this game does not. It just makes me feel all the more ostracized. I feel you, man.
Yeah.
And I really hate that a lot of people who say that this issue doesn't matter, their argument is, well, you can just make yourself as a girl, and then you're fine. Like, no. That's... Wait, what does he want?
No.
What's a new
It's like
item?
really diminishing it.
Does he want Arabian or soccer field?
Soccer field?
I'll give Jordan soccer field. Looks like an announcer. It's pretty unique. I don't think you
That's
liked
the
it.
worst football field, though. Like, those barriers are really stupidly high.
Also, Jordan's a giant in it,
Yeah.
and it's a perfect square. So,
Yeah.
all around, not the best, maybe.
You could just kick it from one goal into like a goal. You can score with a goal kick instantly. I like the crowd. I like the way they're doing the crowd.
Check in on Amy here. Take a look inside my stomach. This has yet to show me anything interesting. You ate pizza. Are you just showing off?
Hey, Janine, look!
Rude.
Curtis Blue says that it looks like the field from the puppy bowl, which it does.
Oh man, I love the puppy ball.
Oh, since one of my friends is selling Mercury.
Uh-oh. There's a news update.
Something opening, maybe?
Maybe. 400 problems solved.
Oh man, there's a ceremony coming. Am I gonna dash out from behind my desk to participate in the ceremony?
I wish. Sailor Venus reading a little letter to me.
Aww.
Ooh, presented to Silver Cup.
On The Birth of the Universe by...
Lumberjack Bonanza follows up with, I mean, I'm bi, so I have an easier time of it, but fuck, it's still so messed up. And, like, I'm bi as well, so I get that sort of, like, so I can deal with this, it's not an issue, but then, like, all of the solutions erase my identity even more so.
Right.
So that's extra
Yeah.
upsetting.
Yeah.
Like at the outset of the game, even if you want to do the whole gender swapping thing, you have to make a thing, like make a choice at the beginning of the game. Do I want to date a dude or a lady in this game?
Right.
That's
And then-
really weird.
Or else make all of the other characters that you make dudes or ladies orbiting around your choice, which
Right.
is not
Yeah.
good either. Do you know what I mean? There's all sorts
No.
of...
Or
it
you
just-
could take the magic asexuality potion that exists in Tomodachi Life. Is a
is
real
there
thing.
one now?
Yes, it's a
Oh.
potion that you take.
Cool.
Really?
That's how... That's
Yep.
a choice.
I
You
did
can
not
take
know
a
about that.
potion to not date
That's-
people.
Sure. I can't tell if that. My instinct is that that's awful.
It's weird.
Um,
It's weird and like I guess it's nice to
think
have
it's
the
really
option,
demons-
but
Yeah, but it's really demonstrative of Nintendo's understanding of sexuality and gender that you just
yeah.
neck a potion and like
Right.
I guess that the romance in general is opt out and not opt in.
ooh.
Well,
Boy.
it's not wrong. Let's see about Conchita here.
Douze points.
Aw, Keith, little baby Keith.
Oh no.
That's really cute.
I think he suits that outfit.
Yeah, it becomes him. I really wish I was home because I have a dress that I want to give me. And that's frustrating.
Can you like visit yourself at work and make the
No.
managers send you home?
I wish. I remember I got my first iPod at work. Not at work, but my dad came to pick me up from the pizzeria and he brought an iPod and I was super excited.
Oh.
It was a good day. Okay, so let's see. I bet this leather jacket is probably what we should be giving Not All Men. I have so many clothes that I need to...
I wish I didn't have a specific person in mind when I thought about Not All Men. I wish I could let him be an abstract representation, but he is super not. He is super a specific person. That's
all
not
know
true.
that
I can
guy.
think of a couple of people. Who he is.
Yeah.
So.
This game is a whole patchwork for us, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
In a really like specifically measurable way. I don't know.
Okay, so let's see. So this princess
her
dress,
picture.
I'm getting that. Sorry, y'all, but that is mine. I also have this plaid one piece, which looks kind of crappy, but yeah, black plaid. Everyone loves that. Jersey white team jacket, baggy parka, room wear. Taxi Driver is very nice. I really like
I like Taxi Driver a bunch. Yeah.
And then Tennis is pretty cute. Cute little
Yeah,
tennis
tennis
dress.
is just a dress.
And then a bath towel. And Fairy. Is there any outfit you wanna call dibs on, Allie?
No.
No?
I think I'm good.
Rise pants, sweatshirt, and short sleeved. I think I'm gonna give Not an Alien Fairy, just because it seems like
Yeah.
a big.
Because it's hilarious.
Yes, definitely. Oh. Yeah, TARDIS Blue. I think everyone went to college with a guy who looked exactly like
Yeah.
Not All Men.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Cat and Jack are hanging out doing knee exercises.
I love to do knee exercises. You know what can I say?
Not a cat's eating all these things, but I don't really care. Just get rid of them.
I just want to note that one of the online coupon code sites in Canada is bargainmoose.ca.
Great.
Look, we're
Have you considered
really
this
bad with
topic?
names, okay? Just,
God.
You just hear this crash of glass and this moose has stuck its head through your window and says, "Did you know you could get 15% off?" You enter the... and you're like, no, go away. Elevator doors at work open. I've never seen a moose before in my life, but in my head they're really big. Like,
they are, and they're also really
They're big.
dangerous.
Yeah.
are they pretty pissed at the world?
I mean, if you hit one with your car, you could die.
Because
Yeah.
they just
They're
'cause
huge. And also, if they get really angry, they will kill you.
So when you say if you hit one with your car, are you talking about just because of the density of the object that you're hitting?
It's
because they freak out and then
so
just,
much
like,
of their
mold?
weight is in their body, and they have really long legs. So if you hit it with your car, you basically knock its legs out, and the entire body will come through the windshield and
Oh,
crush
Jesus.
you. It's bad. It's bad news.
That's not good.
Um,
Do you see them? Do they like hang out in Canada?
I mean, they're around. They're not really around here because we're in like southern Ontario, and it's pretty densely populated here. But you can certainly.
I mean,
I've
like
seen them.
occasionally I'll see a deer in a field as I'm driving past or something. Is it
I used
like
to see
that?
them up on when I was driving or being driven up to college, to university. It's like
Yeah.
a 5-hour drive up north, and they were sometimes. But like, I went to school in a place where I got up early for class and was waiting at the bus stop, and then there were 3 deer crossing the street just beside me, which was really weird. That's just the kind of place that was. We had like lynxes or mountain lions or something on the school trails that we had to.
Mountain
Worry
lions
about.
will mess you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I was reading
the
an
big
article.
cats.
I was reading an article about like wilderness hiking in this particular national park in America, and the guy was like giving advice. He was like, "Oh, if you see bears, just make sure that you stay clear of them. Don't antagonize them. You know, if worst comes to worst, carry bear spray. If you see a rattlesnake, they won't bite you. It's okay unless you tread on them. And if they do bite you, just calmly call an ambulance. You'll be fine." And then his last piece of advice was, I mean, if you see a mounted lion and it attacks you, you've really kind of just got to fight it.
Yeah.
It's just like really running away from that isn't going to do you any good at all.
There was
And I love-
actually a big story recently about a girl working at some oil sands got like hauled away by a black bear. And black bears
Oh,
are
jeez.
that's not a grizzly bear. Black bears are kind of like the smaller, cuter ones. And it just like came out of nowhere or something and grabbed her and ran off.
Boy.
Genius.
God.
Yeah. Canada, man, it's rough.
Canada Man is Deal Moose's superhero.
I don't know who to give some of these outfits to. Probably have some here for Keith. I should definitely try and level Jack up before we're done to see what happens. These are all terrible outfits.
One of these days we should do our Tomo musical special.
These are all just awful. I'm not sure. Let's try and level up Jack here. In this little cow building.
Oh.
You know, cow
It's a
building.
cow house. Cow house where cows live.
I started Harvest Moon A New Beginning the other day, and I named my first cow Pumpkin. Oh,
good.
tulips are blooming in this season. Their flower language is eternal love.
I like tulips.
Oh, what is low-rise pants about? I don't...
Yeah.
It's like an Alex Day outfit. I don't know what to do with that.
It's not a great argument because I could probably do it with almost everything in this room, but I love the idea with tulips that I could go into my garden right now. I could pick something from my garden, and if I had a time machine, I could go back and buy a house with what I was holding in my hand. You know, like I find the value of objects changing, and the value of objects for something
Probably
as
more than a
transient as, like,
house,
tulip.
because modern tulip breeds would be...
Yeah, totally.
Something crazy to them.
You know, I could set myself up with a fleet of ships and everything, but the idea of something so transient and fragile as literally just a flower bulb.
I mean, I guess that's the thing, though, is the flower is transient, but the bulb, not so much.
Yeah, that's true. I love the way that, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but as far as I can remember, Tulip Mania in Holland, or the Netherlands, kind of ended when just all together, Holland basically went, man, tulips are really stupid. What have we been
What
doing
the
all
fuck are
this
we
time?"
doing? This is...
Yeah,
it's
and the
flower
market
bulb.
just crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what have we been doing? Man, I hope that's what happens to the games industry.
Oh, man. I'm never gonna level Jack up.
Yeah, he's like halfway.
This crepe, I don't know. Fine, don't eat it, I don't care. Ugh, jerk.
We'll get there.
Give Austin that taxi outfit. Whoops. I don't have scout, there it is.
Not.
Oh, it has little gloves.
The gloves aren't great. The gloves are
No.
bad.
Look kind of like a butler.
You couldn't see them because mannequins, like,
Yeah,
you know.
that's a problem. That's not great. I wish I was home from work so I could have that princess dress. Oh, I should have. Shit, I should have
Living
given
the
Carrie
dream,
Pamu
Janine,
Pamu the
living
fairy
the dream.
outfit. I'm dumb.
Well, the fairy outfit is in the catalog, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy it again.
Although, how embarrassing would it be to, be walking in the hallway and see somebody else in the same fairy outfit?
Yeah, I'll go change with another. I forgot how expensive that outfit is. Oops. Whatever. It's worth it. It's always
Everybody in the building dressed like fairies, except not all men.
Aw.
Kinda liked it.
Okay, let's
Carrie.
go and right. Set an alien up with some other clothes. Oops.
My fairy dress kind of suits an alien.
Yeah. I bet this will suit not an alien too. I keep saying not an alien, but they're totally an alien.
No, they're definitely an alien.
Oh, she doesn't like that at all.
No, who would?
Yeah, that's a good point. I want to be not a cat's friend.
really like this translation, actually. That's some cute wallpaper as well. Oh man, definitely not a cat's head is literally bigger than their body.
Oh, that reminds me, I have a camera too. Who do we want to give that camera to? Who would we like to see some photos from? Whose artistic expression would we like to see?
I think that we're definitely not a cat. It would just all be like knees. Definitely not all men. Maybe
I don't want to
Alex.
see pictures from definitely not one.
You're hungry. I don't know, eat this crepe. Just eat what I got.
Yeah. I love crepes.
I'm into
Is
crepes.
that crepe like wrapped in foil? What's the pink on?
It's like wrapped in paper. That's sometimes you see them served like that. I feel like, especially in Japanese like media, that's the popular way to show them. Is like you sort of roll it up, like a pastry burrito.
Yeah, they're like crepe like stands where like you would almost get like an ice cream cone. But like
Right.
they do it either like savory or dessert style and it's just wrapped up. It'll have either like
I do not like savory crepes.
yeah. It'll
I think
either
it
be like
depends on the sort of
chicken and
sailory,
gravy.
sailory crepe.
We went to a pancake house in Amsterdam that did like ham pancakes and stuff, and that I was not like ham and cheese and stuff.
Oh.
And I don't know. It was not quite my
Yeah.
thing. I really want to level up, Jack. Is the thing. Stop hanging out with Sailor
I'm
Mars.
into my third evolution.
I think you're only like one item away from
Do we know what? Does
your
a
mega
cool thing
form.
happen?
Hmm?
Does a cool thing happen when I get all the items?
I don't know. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to find out.
Don't you already have all the no.
Let's see what Jack will cook.
Oh god, this would be a disaster. It was not for nothing that my college room, somebody gave me a sign on the outside of my college room that was just a frying pan on fire.
It looks delicious. This is the first time we've given this to anyone other than Hannibal. Breaking tradition.
I'm surprised we haven't given it to
Masterpiece
Masterpiece
taco.
taco. Oh god,
looks like
this
a
is my
face.
proudest moment.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
It's a bit creepy.
Have we still got you, Austin?
Oh,
Oh,
I
cool.
wasn't sure. Really close to leveling. Take the camera, why not?
Just take some photos of cows.
This is what I got.
I do live in the southwest of England, which is like
What?
farming country. Whoa.
Oh,
That's breakfast. You took a picture of breakfast.
that looks like really good ramen.
I'd like that egg to be a bit more done, I think, but
Is that like gammon steak up in the
the
top?
title is Shine. Yeah, I liked it.
It was my least favorite Eurovision song.
Oh, I leveled. Is that a cow's head or
Last
bottom
interior.
behind me to the right?
It's just, there's a bunch of cows. The whole place
But the
is
one
cows.
to my right now, is that its head? Or its tail?
The heads are rough. Well, maybe it happens when you level the next time. Let's go with Music Studio.
Yeah, it would make sense.
So he has every song, every item, every interior.
Hmm.
Oh.
I want to know what's gonna happen. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep giving him shit.
Oh god, those music stands are the worst. With all the holes in.
Why don't you like those the holes in them?
Because I can't remember. I think that the ones that I have like that, music just kept falling off them.
Oh.
It's,
I I guess like air could blow through there and that wouldn't be helpful.
Yeah, but then like the standard music stand, like the standard frame ones are different. I don't know. I have a bad reaction to it.
I don't like the like collapsible ones. They're just kind of like a framework because they're
jeez.
they just topple over so easily.
Or they just telescope midway through
Yeah.
playing something. Then crunk. The music stand falls down.
Oh, you didn't like the tomato juice.
Well, no, duh, Janine. It's
Some people really like tomato juice.
who?
I don't know. Some people in my
Stand up.
family are like, there's this weird family meals. There's this divide between people who like mixed vegetable cocktail and people who like pure tomato juice as like a side drink.
Well, which side do you fall on?
I don't like either. I think they're both gross.
Yeah.
So you're the ambassador, the mediator.
I'm also one of the few people up there who likes cranberry sauce. So,
I quite like cranberry sauce. I quite like cranberry juice as a drink.
Me too.
as well.
I have some cranberry juice right now. It's very good.
Yeah, I'm a
It's
fan.
good stuff. I'm just eating toffee popcorn, but really slowly because I don't really want to be eating it.
Well, then why are you eating it?
Excellent question, Janine. And I'm gonna plead the fifth. I don't know. There was
Maybe
a
I'll
ball
just
there.
keep giving you shit until you take this jersey outfit.
No, what?
I've got so much stuff though. I just want to get that XP. You know. He doesn't like
That is
it.
the exact worst reason to give people presents.
Look, sometimes you gotta play your life like you play Harvest Moon. You just give people shit every day because you need to.
Oh god, I'm so excited to play Harvest Moon.
I really want you to
eventually.
play Harvest Moon. I still can't make up my mind about like which one I want to push to be your first Harvest Moon.
Yeah, oh, that's kind of cute.
Well, I'm not giving you Princess as mine.
No, don't give me.
I'm sorry. This feels good.
No, it doesn't.
Leveled. Okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Well, I like the camel.
Oh,
Thing?
gold coin.
Huh.
Oh,
Is that
based on Dark Souls logic, you want to keep hold of those because you can trade them with like a crow for a key to a magic place.
I guess
Yeah, I
now
guess
you
so.
just give me shit, which is
What's
also
the
good.
description of the gold coin? And
Made by the Archdrake sect of Lindeld, the origins
Right.
of which are.
right.
Dylan in the chat points out that Harvest Moon 64 is the best one. A lot of people say that. I would say I haven't played it, and I intend to. It's tricky because my gut is often to recommend some of the newer ones because I really, really am enjoying A New Beginning. I really enjoyed Grand Bazaar.
Wait, Grand Bazaar like BAZAAR?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's one where instead of shipping things, you sell them yourself at a weekend bazaar and you like haggle with people. And it's a really nice twist on just throwing your shit in a bin. I really, really enjoyed that one. It's probably my favorite one so far.
Like, I don't know. Wait,
But the thing
you
is,
can
with
come to
I don't think with Harvest Moon games, if you play the newer ones, I don't think you can go back.
right.
I think they will spoil you on it.
So if you could come to a decision, like I will be right there playing.
I considered actually playing Harvest Moon 64 and having you on the stream, but I think that would be terrible. It's not a game you can really watch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think you could totally stream it and it would be interesting, but you would need to stream it and not watch someone stream it.
Is it tied to the system clock? Like music
No,
or that
no, no,
Animal
no.
Crossing East
No,
sense
it's
of it
not.
do
No, not at
stuff
all.
every day?
No,
Oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm not being guilt tripped into playing it.
no.
Right.
It's very much like at your own
Look,
pace,
I'm being
just
blunt about
advancing the
Animal
clock.
Crossing, yo.
There is a calendar and stuff, and things happen on certain days, but you're the one who's controlling that.
Right. Okay, but I like when I go to sleep and stuff.
Yeah. Harvest Moon 64 in particular is the one that gets brought up because the sort of developer opinion is that they got to do the things that they wanted to do in the original Super Nintendo game in Harvest Moon 64,
Huh.
but that they
And that's-
couldn't really execute on at the time because of budget constraints and people dropping out, like small team, and so to them it was a more accurate version of what they wanted to do with the original game. Even though there were games in between that and 64, I think there were a lot of Game Boy Color games and stuff, which I guess could have actually been coming out around the same time. But
And that's kind of that's an old enough game that I won't be spoiled on the old ones, right?
yeah, I think those games until you start getting into the GameCube, PS2 sort of era of Harvest Moon games, you're still the bread and butter is still kind of the same. It's still a pretty straightforward experience. And yeah, Dylan in the chat says that the Super Nintendo Harvest Moon is like Warcraft, a good idea but super clunky. I think it's the first one that I played and I liked it, but also that was a long time ago. Like, I've played a lot of other stuff since then that maybe would have made a different impression. So it's tricky. I think even though I haven't played 64, what I've heard of it makes me think that it would probably be a good first one because it's old enough that it wouldn't spoil the originals. It wouldn't spoil the Super Nintendo or the Game Boy Color ones or whatever. If you wanted to go back and look at those, some of the Game Boy Color ones were actually really cool. They did some neat things before the series was actually trying to actively do neat things.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an oversimplification, but whatever.
How well does the 64 emulator work with a mouse and keyboard?
Probably fine.
Okay, cool.
Like when you're still... I can't really think of a cartridge system where the emulator is not totally fine. I think I kind of came to realize that I like playing Harvest Moon games more with a physical controller, and normally I'm not like that. I'm totally okay with keyboard and mouse, even in games that I really shouldn't be. Like Assassin's Creed, but...
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. But for me, Harvest Moon, something about when you're watering row after row of crop, I like having a physical D-pad or analog stick just under my thumb because I don't know, it feels better. I don't know. I'm sure there's most emulators will work with controllers and stuff now, though, for the most part, I want to say.
Yeah, I can just map a 360 controller to it somewhere in some way or another.
Yeah, Innocent Life is another one that's really weird. I also want to try that one. That's like it's the sci-fi ones. They had sort of normal Harvest Moon, and then they kind of did this weird branch where they decided to do a sci-fi Harvest Moon and then a fantasy Harvest Moon. And the fantasy Harvest Moon is Rune Factory, where there's combat and leveling and weapons and armor and stuff like that. And Innocent Life is this whole other thing that I never really got a chance to check out because I didn't know on the platforms it was on at the time. Wow. That's worth a lot of money.
What's worth a lot of money?
The
Famicom
NES and the
coin.
gold coin.
It'd be nice if that's what you got. If you always got gold coins. that'd be a nice little bump in money.
A nice little bonus for leveling someone up. Yeah. There's a lot of Harvest Moon games though, and also if you start going into things that are Harvest Moon adjacent, like Innocent Life and Rune Factory and River King, then it becomes even more.
Black Ops.
Black Ops, I think we're...
Wait, there's a game called River King?
Yeah, it's like Harvest Moon with fishing. Harvest Moon has fishing, but it's
the
like
focus
just
is
fishing.
River King is one hell of an evocative name.
It's not Fisher King, but...
No, I'm kind of getting that whole, like, I know that that's exactly not what it is, but I'm kind of getting that whole Angela Carter, Earl King vibe. Green Man.
Oh, we should actually change this, because this is... Oh, I can't, because you're... Well, whatever. So yeah, that was Tomodachi Collection 2009. I think we're still gonna do these streams, you know, every now and then. Oh yeah, Hometown Story. Dylan, I bought Hometown Story and then I played a little bit of it and it just kinda... I keep meaning to go back to it, but it's just... I don't know. It might be
I'm
because
excited about Sundew Valley.
Me too.
Oh, Stardew, right.
Stardew.
Yes,
Sun
yes, yeah.
Drop
I'm
Star.
I'm really excited for that one. I wish the art was a little, more Harvest Moony.
I like the
But
art. I think the
it's
art's
still pretty cute,
I like
yeah.
the art. And that's co-op, right? Like we can. Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Online multiplayer. And it still has story stuff, and you still get married and things like that. Geez, Dylan, I didn't know you were so into Harvest Moon. Why have we not talked about Harvest Moon before? Shit.
Dylan will surprise you.
I also haven't played Harvest Moon, and I'd like
Good,
to.
Ellie.
I really
Nice.
should.
It's weird. I mentioned this to Austin the other night, where it's like, it's one of those game franchises where I don't really feel bad that I have not finished many of them, because I still feel like I've gotten the experience. Like I still, the ending is kind of not the important part of those games.
Right, yeah.
I feel that about every game.
Yeah, but in this case, it's very particularly like that feeling of putting in your work every day and working towards something really concrete and
Yeah.
seeing those things pay off, and also like the fact that even in the very first Harvest Moon game you could paint your house, and
Yeah, like there's a lot of
they even as things progressed, one of the popular things was there'd be a shopping channel or like mail order services where you could order stuff for your house to expand it. And then they started adding in, like, much more recently, like DS era, they started adding in stuff with outfits. A New Beginning lets you finally customize your, like, hair and stuff. Just that it's interesting to see the changes that they've made that they've stuck with, and the changes they made that they don't stick with. The things they experiment with. They experiment with a lot of the farming stuff, like how big the plots are, and all the like mechanical things. All of that stuff is constantly changing from game to game, and you can say like, I really liked the farming in Grand Bazaar, but I liked the whatever in the other game. And it's interesting because it's a game that I think a lot of people associate with the same old whatever and routine and rote and repetition.
yeah.
But there is a lot of variation and experimentation going on at the same time.
You
think
saying
that
that
there's a
made me
lot of-
look up when that Dynasty Warriors game is coming out since soon. I'm the worst.
Oh, look at me. Push-ups.
So yeah, that's been Tomodachi Collection. I'm Janine Hawkins at Bleating Heart on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube, and who are my Tomodachis that joined me today?
I'm Austin Walker. You can find me at Austin_Walker on Twitter, the Calcutech on Twitch, and at ClockworkWorlds.com.
And I am Alicia Akampora. I am Ali_West on Twitter and good friend Ali on Twitch.
I'm Jack DeKeat. I'm at Not Quite Real on Twitter and Twitch, and you can find the games that I make on my studio's website, thetalltreesgames.co.uk.
Sounds good. Have a good night, everyone.